Hola, muy buenas roleros, aquí estamos con el capítulo número 2 de Greedfall. Y bueno, vamos a continuar la historia. Donde lo dejamos, ayudamos al alquimista que estaba intentando buscar una cura para la enfermedad que está azotando básicamente al reino de nuestro primo, de donde vivimos. Y bueno, le ayudamos al final porque en líneas generales no tenía mala fe el pobre hombre. Pero sí que digamos como que... Volver directamente a la embajada de la Alianza o cuánto. Anda, mira. Pues eso, realmente no tenía mala fe, lo único que el tío pues estaba siendo un poco liante. Y bueno, le ayudamos a salir a cambio de que no volviese a aparecer por la ciudad, básicamente. Así que nada, vamos a seguir. Vamos a mirar un momento qué misiones tenemos. Todas estas están hechas. Esta la hemos jodido. Y me jode, macho. Ah, bueno, no, caño. Calla, 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 calla. Que esta era la opcional que teníamos con la de encuentra al charlatán. Vale, esta es la que habíamos terminado. Ve, informa al embajador de Alianza. Vale, nos faltaría eso para poder terminar. Y luego sería caza herética. Caza herética, encuentra al contrabandista. Y negocio con el comerciante. Estas son las misiones secundarias. Luego tendremos la misión principal. En un principio voy a intentar hacer todas estas secundarias antes de salir de la ciudad. Porque una vez que... Supongo. Una vez que salgamos de la ciudad, no vamos a volver, o eso creo, o no vamos a tener la posibilidad de salir. Y creo que puede ser interesante hacernos un poco las misiones de esta gente antes de irnos a donde realmente va a desenvolverse toda la historia. Así que por lo cual vamos a intentar, porque siempre nos va a venir bien, ¿no? Para ganar nivel y ir un poquito más chetados a lo que es la isla a la que tenemos que ir. Vale, nos venimos aquí. Ya vamos a ir al lío.
Your Excellency. Lord Desaparicion. I tracked down your man near the coin guard barracks.
Finally. Did you capture him?
Let's just say I put an end to his activities. His reputation in Serene is forever tarnished. Matters turned out a little more complicated than anticipated. Why should I deliver him to you? You deliberately hid the truth about him from me.
What? Might I remind you that you're in audience with the ambassador of the Bridge Alliance?
And you to a legate of the Congregation of Merchants, that you treat like an imbecile. This man is indeed an alchemist of the Bridge, and he told me much about your disagreement of opinion.
And of course you sided with him.
Certainly not. I have no part to play in your quarrels, I just chased him from our city. Now, if you're still intent on placing him in irons, you need to capture him, on your own lands.
How embarrassing. I should have shown more honesty in your regard. Please accept my excuses. And this modest gift for the voyage that awaits you.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye, Lord Desaparicion.
Espero haber hecho bien, porque aquí en este juego sí que todas las decisiones que tomemos van a tener consecuencias, y de hecho lo acabo de ver, que hemos empeorado un poco las relaciones con esta facción. Si empeoramos, supongo que demasiado las relaciones con alguna facción, podemos terminar en guerra con ellos o tenerlos como enemigos. Vete a saber. Vale. En un principio de momento voy a dejar los gráficos como los tengo, que creo que los tengo en ultra todo, me parece que no. Sí. A ver qué tal. Parece que se va comportando más o menos de manera decente el ordenador. A una bajadita de FPS en algún momento, pero en líneas generales creo que está funcionando bastante bien. Y os iba a decir algo más, pero se me ha pirado la pinza ya. Pero vamos, en líneas generales, de momento, como os digo, se está comportando medianamente bien. Como os digo, con alguna bajadita de FPS, pero de momento nada dramático. Solo un momento con esto.
Do you need something?
Pues de
I
momento.
must leave you.
Un momento. Vale, vamos a ver, porque estoy aquí indagando presencia del capitán Vasco. No, vamos a seguir. Vamos a seguir esta misión. Y obviamente todo lo que podamos lootear, bienvenido es. De hecho, vamos a ver una cosa. Inventario. Códice, mapa del mundo. Pero la verdad que estoy indagando un poco porque llevo unos días sin jugar al juego. Aquí. Unos días, por lo menos una semana o dos sin jugar al juego, si no es algo más. Y hay cosas que se me han olvidado un poquito. Vale, estos son consumibles, ingredientes, objetos de misión y mercancía en general. Lo que tenemos sobre todo son consumibles. Es que estaba mirando si a lo mejor hay alguna cosa que podamos vender. Vale. De aquí tenemos el martillo con pinchos. Y luego el florete. Lo que pasa es que me parece que según el personaje que nos habíamos hecho... Es que creo recordar que según el personaje que nos habíamos hecho, no sé si habíamos cogido como arma selecta o arma favorita, por decirlo de alguna manera, el martillo. Y es que quiero saber dónde se miraban estas cosas. Habilidades. Armas pesadas de una mano. Esta sí es. Creo que sí que era esta. Que había puesto armas pesadas de una mano. Permite utilizar armas pesadas con una mano como mazas, martillos y hachas. Creo que como tal... Podríamos, creo, que utilizar el florete. Aunque bueno, no, sale... Habilidades, sale. Ya, pues mira, ya sabemos qué es lo que vamos a vender. Los floretes o que no los voy a utilizar, que son mejores. Básicamente lo que quiero es vender, compañero. Quiero venderte esto y esto. Y seguimos nuestro camino. De hecho, cuando entremos en combate, que vamos a entrar en combate ahora en un rato, voy a tener que recordar qué tipo... Yo quiero... A ver, de poder... Una poción que aumenta el desequilibrio de los ataques físicos durante un largo periodo de tiempo. ¿Cómo? Una poción que aumenta el desequilibrio de los ataques físicos durante un largo periodo de tiempo. A ver, lo que quiero sobre todo es poción de curación. Poción de resistencia. Ungüento de armadura. Un ungüento que regenera armadura rápidamente. Poción de maná. No lo podemos hacer. Este sí podríamos. Ah, no, nos faltaría la borraja. Y de salud, ciencia nivel 3. Pero sí podríamos hacer poción de salud normal. Lo que pasa es que solo vamos a poder hacer una porque tenemos nada más que una esencia de bestia. Bueno, menos da una piedra, ¿no? Polvo de reanimación. Podríamos hacer munición, pero no va a ser el caso de momento. Porque no vamos a ir a armas cuerpo a cuerpo. O sea, armas a distancia, perdonad. Teniendo la magia. A ver, recoger. Aviso mal escrito. A la familia del rico que nos ha provocado. Lo hemos capturado y lo mataremos si no nos pagáis de forma generosa. Venid con una saca llena al callejón al sur del distrito de los almacenes antiguos. Creo que esto básicamente... O es una misión secundaria o es a mi primo. Mi primo. Ah, por el que tenemos que ir. Podemos ir por aquí. Vamos a guardar. Porque aquí puede haber algún lío.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide.
Este es vasco,
You,
tío.
man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life. There are some children we'd been best to refuse.
Captain Vasco,
And you are?
I'm Desaparicion, the prince's nephew. If all is in order, we will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship, not a boat.
Apologies.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Nauts, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
This Jonas, does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavia and Laura.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish. You'll find them over there, in port.
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking. Maybe clandestine passengers?
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. Might I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
A couple of heretics are planning on leaving Serene. The ambassador of Teleme has entrusted me with the job of capturing them.
Happy to see that you trust me enough to seek my counsel in the affair. Just so happens that I heard someone talking about the couple. The Cardinal's men are far from discreet. They're making quite some ruckus, asking to search our warehouses. We of course refused entry. Only the Nautas have access. I'm sorry, Your Excellency, but I'm certain your potential stowaways aren't far. But we won't allow you to make a search to grab them. Not officially, at least.
What do you mean?
That discretion and malice are often more useful than titles and words.
You haven't heard anything about my cousin by chance, have you? To be honest, we were hoping to find him here.
Did you say he was intending on celebrating his departure? My men spoke of a rather animated party that went down at the Coin Tavern, but I haven't heard anything else.
That isn't the safest place in the city. I hope nothing has happened to him.
Let's go and find him. Thank you, Captain.
Happy to be of some help.
Could you tell me a little about your guild?
We are masters of the oceans. Our ships can sail where no others dare.
Thanks to your magic, so I've heard. How do you become a Nord?
Our magic, yes, that only the Nords master. As for your question, any child born on one of our ships is seaborn. He is a Nord from birth. Others are sea-gifted, joining the Nords for different reasons, often from a young age. It's how the guild is made and maintains its numbers.
Be back soon, Captain.
We need to have a word with that people smuggler, the sailor.
Vale, interroga al
He's a
contrabandista.
like yourself. And in order
Interroga al
to
contrabandista sobre
interrogate
los
the smuggler,
herejes.
we'll need
Tenemos
to
dos
find a way to
puntos.
his jail.
2 puntos, tú. Vale, que no había asalto aquí como tal. Que iba a saltar. Esta zona la controla una facción distinta a la tuya. Hay algunos lugares a los que tienes prohibido entrar. Un atuendo torso de la facción te permitirá engañar a los guardias. También puedes intentar entrar haciendo uso del sigilo, pero si te descubren algún guardia, se producirá una respuesta violenta y tu reputación con dicha facción se verá afectada. Interesante. Almacenes. A ver, la ropa que llevo ahora mismo, como tal, no debería de de suponerme ningún problema, ¿no? Vamos a guardar. Porque no sé si aquí la voy a liar. Vale, esto sería con el sigilo. A ver. Si podemos dar un rodeo. Porque supongo que esos tíos serán de la facción que me está comentando y la puedo liar muy parda, supongo. Pero vamos, estoy flipando porque... Hostias. Porque esto tiene más chicha de lo que pensaba. Para ser una zona principal. Oh, me van a ver. Me van a ver. Que me ven, chechu. La verdad es que he entrado aquí y estoy dándome cuenta. Hostias, tú. Vamos. Sube sin que te vean. Supongo. Madre mía, tú. Ostras. Ostras. Dios. Ay.
To my help, and death to the
No lo he
others!
visto, tío. A ver qué.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Pues empezamos bien. A ver, de momento voy a seguir. Pero esto no era lo que yo quería. De momento nos estamos cargando todas las reputaciones con las facciones. Vamos muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. Encima para entrar en un sitio que no tenía que entrar. $13 metros, el caso es que estamos al lado, tío. Hostias, tú. ¿Cómo voy a hablar yo con la gente aquí? Es imposible, me tengo que liar a zambombazos, tío. Es que hay como dos entradas. Pero es que me da un poco igual. Es que tenemos esta y luego esta. Pero es que yo creo que los dos son el mismo sitio. Escalar. Amigo mío, joder. Si hubiese visto esto antes, conche.
Are you the smuggler?
You snuck yourself in here just to ask me that question? If this is some sort of trick to get me to admit to some crime, you are truly twisted.
You can see for yourself that I'm no Naut. Come now. Are you the one I'm looking for?
I'm already locked up. What more do I risk? Yes, I am a smuggler. But I'm not the only one in this city.
I'm searching for a couple fleeing to Leme. They're trying to leave the city discreetly. Have they contacted you?
You certainly can't imagine I'm going to answer you without getting something in exchange. I don't really think of my clients as kin, but I'd never betray any of them for free.
A real saint you are. How about your freedom in exchange for your loyalty? Tell me where I can find them and I'll open this cage.
That works for me. Your two Telemites are hidden in a warehouse behind this very prison. They must be waiting for me. But you might want to be quick about it. If the Nauts get their hands on them, they'll find themselves in this same cage.
Thank you.
Anytime. And these doors? You're gonna open them, right?
Vale. Libera al contrabandista.
Come on now. Let me out.
A ver.
You promised.
Joder.
Please.
Usar llave. Forzar cerradura.
I don't have the key.
Efectivamente no tengo llave. Bueno, pues... Voy a guardar. Vale, la U es para cambiar y desenfundar la C. Vale. Pues verás. Madre mía, madre mía. Pues si vayan ataques furtivos, pues a lo mejor tenía que haber hecho eso desde un principio. ¿Y dónde consigo yo la llave, chico? $12 metros. Vale, la llave tiene pinta que tiene que estar por ahí. Venga, tronco. Espérate, esto quiero hacerlo bien, tío. A mí no me jodan. Se puede hacer de manera furtiva, tío. Está un poco... Veo que no hay una opción de dejarlos inconscientes, como en los típicos juegos de sigilo rollo Dishonored, que puedes elegir entre o matarlos o dejarlos inconscientes. De momento vamos para acá arriba, supongo. Que ¡Uah! Vamos, claro que sí. Joder, es que quiero hacer las cosas bien, tío. Que no me quiero cargar tampoco demasiado la... Hostia, me ve. demasiada reputación con esta gente. Y más cuando tengo que navegar con uno de ellos. Es bastante gracioso, tú. Encima, todo es forzar cerraduras, tío. Vamos a esperar, pues antes me lo he comido con patatas al pavo. Joder, tío, ¿en serio, macho? ¿Me jodas? Como me toque mucho huevos a tomar por culo, me cargo la reputación de esta gente y me lío a hostias. Y mato a todo lo que vea. Y ya está. A ver si puedo... Sí. Estaría bien saber más o menos cuál es su ruta. A lo mejor a este sí que me lo cargo. Es que me parece que cualquier asesinato que haga... aunque sea de manera furtiva, creo que me baja la reputación sí o sí. Pues nada, toma por culo. Ah, pues mira, ¿no? Joder, tío. Vamos a guardar que de momento esto me ha salido bien. Estoy en busca de la llave perdida. Es que todos son cofres, tío. Mira. Moneda, vamos. A lo mejor esto me sirve para disfrazarme, a ver. Gabán con cola de segundo oficial. Sí. Gabán de marinero. Encima esto me mejora todo, tú. Pues vamos a ir de momento con esto. No sé si tenemos un sombrero, guantes, a ver. Esto por lo que veo me quita resistencia elemental, pero me da resistencia mágica y probabilidad de reciclaje. Más 3 puntos de armadura, ¿puede ser? Sí, 3 puntos de armadura. Y el equilibrio, que no sé muy bien qué es lo del equilibrio todavía. Perdón, calidad 37. Guantes de marinero, vamos a llevárnoslo. Aunque no se ha notado una mierda. La verdad sea dicha. Sí, se ha notado. Para que no me haya fijado yo bien. Y botas. Botas de marinero. Tío, yo quiero verme. Esta es la bota que tengo. Pues la bota de marinero, que encima me dan más armadura. Vale, con esto se supone que ahora puedo pasearme sin que nadie me diga nada. Joder, tío. Todo es forzar cerraduras. Me estoy arrepintiendo, tío, de no haber... Aquí. De no haberme metido en forzar cerraduras. Vale. Ahora vamos a guardar de todas formas. Y vamos a hacer la prueba. Se supone que ahora mismo no deberían de verme. Aunque esté este pavo con nosotros, no deberían de verme. O sea, verme me van a ver. Quiero decir que no debería de parecerles raro. Sí, no me parece raro. Perfecto. O sea, ya podemos ir en plan más tranquilos. Aunque liberemos a este pavo. ¡Ay! Qué idiota estoy. Soy un puto crack. Venga, tío. Te libero.
Thank you, my lord.
De
Don't worry
nada.
about me. I'll slip outside without being seen.
Cabronazo y...
Hello? What can I do for you?
We're the relay. You're dismissed.
Finally! We were starting to grow moss. Courage, me hearties.
Who is there?
May the Illuminated save us. Did the smuggler send you?
The man to which you are referring was arrested and thrown into prison, but revealed to me your hiding place.
Oh, the traitor!
Have you come to deliver us to the Inquisition then? Please, please, have pity on our souls. We have committed no crime. We are not heretics. We are nothing more than historians.
In that case, why is the ambassador of Teleme so concerned about your teachings? Why is the Inquisition looking for you, and why are you hiding?
Our only error was wanting to publish our work.
It's true. We presented our research, but it didn't please the censor. And here you have the result.
We fled all the way to Serene, thinking we would be safe. But the Inquisition wants to silence us so badly that they followed us here.
Tell me more about your research. What about it is so horrifying that it would provoke such a fuss?
Our work concerned the teachings of St. Lucius.
The disciple of Saint Matthias? The one who returned to Teleme after traveling with his master?
The very same. His writing was carefully preserved, but never seriously studied.
With the discovery of Tyr Fredi, we thought it crucial to take a look at the original text. We wanted to verify if this island could have been the faraway place that he spoke of. The Eden of Saint Matthias.
And? What did you find?
Tyr Fredi is without any doubt the land that our Saint Matthias and his disciples went to. But the text that we discovered was radically different from what we expected to find.
In the original text, Saint Lucius doesn't speak of an Eden, of the paradise of the Illuminated. He speaks of a voice that came from the depths of the earth, which convinced Saint Matthias to stay there.
It was written in black and white, and there is no doubt about it. The original was written in Lucius's own hand.
I understand now what that text has cost you. This voice from the depths sounds more the power of a demon than a saint.
The sacred texts are always difficult to interpret, but what is written is written.
Did you try speaking with the censors? You could forget what you have discovered, perhaps.
Oh, we have signed already an abjugation stating that we misunderstood the sacred texts of St. Lucius. We were even ready to say that we had never seen the true text, or anything else that would have pleased them.
It served no purpose. It's our lives they are after.
Qué hijo puta, macho.
Who were you hoping would give you asylum?
We were hoping to reach Al-Sad. The Inquisition won't chase us into the den of their enemies.
Our research won't interest the Bridge Alliance, or at least I doubt it. But at least we'll be safe.
By entering Al-Sad as clandestines, you risk being taken for spies.
That would be better than being burned at the stake.
I see. Well, you have no other choice but to run and seek refuge in enemy territories.
I beg of you, please do not deliver us to them. Let us continue on this path.
I could have a word with the good Dr. Sahid, the ambassador of the Bridge Alliance. If he can be persuaded to offer you asylum, you would be saved.
Your goodness honors you. May the Illuminated forever light your path.
If I manage to convince the ambassador, you'll need to refrain from that sort of blessing. Stay here. I'll be back.
Aquí se nota un poco que no tenían muchos diseñadores o poca imaginación, porque si os dais cuenta, este pavo de aquí es el mismo modelo del que hicimos en la anterior misión del charlatán. Lo único que con un poquito más joven, o por lo menos con el pelo, creo que en vez de así como blanquecino, más con el pelo negro y con bigote y perilla, que creo que el otro no lo tenía. Como reciclaban ahí, Bueno, vamos a ver con el pavo este. Nos quedamos con el traje. No creo que nos pongan problemas porque vayamos con este traje por la ciudad, supongo. Nos vamos a ir, como os digo, a hablar con este hombre. ¿Esto qué es? ¿Qué misión es esta? Ah, esto es la taberna. Vamos a seguir al que nos lleva, que es la de hablar con el embajador.
Your Excellency.
Lord Desaparicion.
I would like to talk to you about a rather delicate matter.
I am listening.
A couple of historians have made a recent discovery concerning Mateus, the founder of the mythical Teleme. And it seems that this is not to the liking of the Illuminated, or at least his more fervent subjects.
These sinister hypocrites are going to want to burn them at the stake.
Without a doubt. And that's why these poor people are begging you to offer them asylum.
We are willing. Where are they to be found at this time?
At the port of Serene. They were hoping to stow away discreetly on a vessel to Al-Sad.
Very well. I shall send an escort immediately to take them somewhere safe.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye, Lord Desaparicion.
We owe you our lives. We are eternally grateful.
It was nothing. I hope you won't have too much difficulty adapting to your new country.
If you would allow me, I would like to give you this. It's not much, but it is all that we possess.
Farewell.
You have a kind heart, Greenblood. It'll be the end of you, but that doesn't bother me. I wouldn't have wanted those poor buggers to end up on a burning pyre.
It would seem that I'm not the only one with a tender heart.
Vale, por lo menos hemos hecho que este tío esté contento con nosotros. Vale, tenemos un punto para gastar. De momento me va a matar este. Vale. Luego más adelante vamos metiendo lo del éxtasis, que de momento dura 9 segundos y supuestamente inmoviliza al enemigo. A ver si lo utilizo, porque se me olvida muchas veces que puedo pausar, que tiene la pausa táctica, puedo tirar hechizos de esa manera. Y a ver si le voy cogiendo el truco al juego. Informar al embajador de Telem. ¿De qué? De que se han escapado los tíos. Bueno, vamos a terminar esta misión también. Y a ver con qué nos sale esto.
Good day, Excellency.
Sir Desade, to what do I owe the pleasure?
It pains me to inform you that the heretics you seek have fled.
Curse them! How could that possibly have happened?
Alas, these renegades have found protection with the ambassador of the Bridge Alliance. I would not have been able to capture them without risking a diplomatic incident that my uncle would have condemned.
The bridge. I thought as much. Those heretics have turned to them. But I had hoped that you might intervene quickly enough to stop them. It is truly regrettable. We have nothing else to do but pray that the Luminous might shield us from their lies.
I must be going. Farewell, Excellency.
May the light guide you, Desade.
Vale. Nos vamos. Y vamos a coger otra misión secundaria. Vamos a activar esta. Está por aquí. Quitar, gentuza. Pasa vuestro gobernador príncipe.
Good day, good sir.
Madre mía, está hecho
How
mierda.
might I be of service?
You can start by explaining to me why you refuse to honor the orders agreed upon with the guard.
There's been a misunderstanding, sir. Of course we're ready to honor the orders. In fact, I've already had a word with your master-at-arms.
They're asking that we pay again, despite having already paid.
It's just that the price has gone up since. I've nothing to do with it.
This is inadmissible. If you agree on a sum, you need to honor that agreement.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm just an agent. And I'm only obeying orders.
Why don't we go and solicit other suppliers, Kurt?
When we've already paid for the merchandise? If these thieves agree to reimburse the original payment, it's what we do immediately. And do know, in the future, we won't be shopping with them. Well, I should think not.
Your master has apparently asked you to demand a second payment for this merchandise.
That's right. He told me that their attendants seemed to be hiding something when he passed the order. And so he must have thought the guard would end up paying in the end, whatever he asked for.
I'll be damned. And I'm the one they've sent to settle the affair.
Sorry, Captain, it's nothing personal. I'm only following orders.
Following orders. Yeah, we hear you. Makes one wonder which one of the two of us is a coin guard.
This whole story sounds suspicious and stinks of a scandal. You're demanding a second payment but refuse to reimburse the one that was already made.
I'm not the one demanding nor refusing. It's my master.
This stubborn fool is pushing me to madness. You understand now why I'm asking for your help?
A ver si me sale.
I don't think you understand who you're dealing with. Perhaps I failed to present myself properly. Lord Desaparicion, nephew of the Prince d'Orsay and legate of the Congregation of Merchants. During our conversation, you explained to me that your master forced you to commit a crime. That's regrettable, especially as you will be considered his accomplice in extortion, theft. You know as well as I that the congregation does not tolerate such illegal activities.
But I'm only obeying orders.
That is a shame. Well, as orders are the only language you seem to understand, I order you to return the guard the merchandise, without delay. Unless you'd rather your master is hung and that you finish your days in prison.
I beg your pardon, sir, but you are not my master. Moreover, the attendant at the guard was quite specific, saying this affair should be handled with extreme discretion. So I seriously doubt that you'll be wanting to drag us in front of a judge. That would stir up the muck.
Whatever is he talking about, Kurt?
Your guess is as good as mine.
This is preposterous. Your master is a thief. I have no patience for bandits and robbers. Either you give us back what's ours, or we'll take it.
Your idea of diplomacy isn't all that different from my own.
To the devil with ya.
Since you leave us no choice.
The merchant's clerk isn't hearing your arguments. The only thing left is a show of
Pues
strength.
le parto la cara.
Sorry, Greenblood. If I'd have known, I wouldn't have gotten you mixed up in this.
Mira que hijo de puta. Cabrón, hostia. Cómo me gustaría matarlo. A ver, soplapenes. Espera, que no me acuerdo.
All these blue bloods, they aren't worth tuppence.
A ver, hechizos. Éxtasis. Vale.
Stop! I beg of you.
He seems to have grown wiser all of a sudden.
Yes, yes. Don't hit me anymore.
Very well. I'm counting on you to deliver this merchandise as quickly as possible.
Yes, good sir. I'll take care of it immediately.
Qué lástima. Digo, le iba a reventar toda la cara. Aún así me queda entrenamiento, con el combate. No estoy muy ducho todavía, ni en el apuntado. Creo que marcar es con el botón central del ratón. A ver qué te tiro, loco. Esto se puede pasar por aquí. Pero bueno.
Sir Desade, I presume. It is an honor to make your acquaintance. Captain, you set sail soon. Have you seen to our little business?
Yes. We were finally able to recover your merchandise.
Excellent news. I'm afraid, though, that your mission isn't completely finished, Kurt.
Blast me, I'm a captain, not an errand boy.
The commander was quite explicit.
Very well. What do I need to do?
The merchandise that you obtained needs to be sent to Tier 4D as soon as possible. But the Port Authority formalities for shipping take an eternity to wade through. And we've already lost quite a bit of time with this dishonest merchant.
Are you blatantly asking us to smuggle this merchandise and contraband?
I would never ask you to do such a thing, Your Excellency.
Ah, but you don't mind asking that of Kurt?
Well, now, if he finds an alternative solution that is less, illegal, that would be fine. The method matters not. But this cargo must reach the Isle on the next ship.
Marvelous.
Well then, I await your return with utmost impatience. I'm certain you shall do what's required.
Madre mía, tú. Lo que nos van pidiendo. Las misiones secundarias molan, están guapas, están curradillas. Encuentra la forma de mover la carga hasta... A ver. Vale, solo encuentra la manera, no te especifica demasiado. Vamos a echar un vistazo un momento antes de nada. Que no sé cuánto tiempo llevo grabando. Vale. Así me hago una idea. ¿Es con este? No. Es con este con el que tengo que hablar.
Sir, you still haven't found your cousin. As you well know, we cannot leave without him.
Have no fear. I will bring him back in time to make our scheduled departure. Is everything ready?
I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
I have a favor to ask before we leave.
I'm all ears.
We would like to load some merchandise into your ship's hold.
Impossible. You're too late for that. All merchandise must be registered at the Port Authority, and the formalities are long. So, unless you're asking me to turn smuggler and hide contraband on my vessel.
I wouldn't go that far. We're only talking about a few crates after all.
Well then, they'll have to wait. The next ship for New Serene leaves in a month.
Hellfire. If that shipment doesn't leave today, the commander will have my hide.
Captain, I understand your position, but isn't there some way we can get these crates on board?
I doubt it. Even if I wanted to help you, my quartermaster is a half-crazed bridge troll. He's gotten it into his head that a gang of ruffians want to use my ship to pass contraband over to Tier 4D. He's placed guards where our cargo is being held before being loaded. All that is not in the warehouse, and noted on the manifest, will be left on the docks. Sorry, but your crates are gonna have to wait until the next ship sets sail.
Sorry, Kurd. At least we tried.
The commander is gonna have my head. I'm sure that's what he wanted in giving me this impossible task.
In that case, we're going to have to dock to the manifest ourselves. It must be at the Harbour Master's office. Be back soon, Captain.
Me va a estar cargando a la mitad de tu gente, pero no pasa nada. Porque somos colegas, ¿verdad? Es gracioso la manera que tenemos que hacer las cosas. A ver si puedo evitar cargarme a la gente, lo hago. A ver si con esto de que llevo el traje de ellos paso desapercibido.
Let's take a look around the building. We might find a less conspicuous entrance.
Where is the manifest to be found?
I've already been to the port authorities. They keep the official documents upstairs.
Vale, en principio vamos a guardar, porque yo creo que lo que va a pasar es que cuando nos vean a escribir en el... Bueno, a lo mejor no, porque por lo que estoy viendo esto no hemos estado antes. Ahí sigue el pobre cadáver del hombre que sí que nos hemos cargado. Pues no vamos a tenernos que cargar a nadie. Eso está bastante bien. Vale.
Here's the ship's manifest. We only need to add our merchandise to the list.
Pues venga. Qué ilegales que somos, macho. Madre mía. Lo que sea por los amigos. La verdad es que nos está dando la vida estar disfrazados de esta gente, ¿eh?
Captain, sir, we were given orders to wait here with the merchandise.
The way is clear. It's time to get going.
Do your best to be quick and quiet about it. You won't have much time to move it.
Don't you be worrying now. We're off.
The warehouse is at the end to the right there. You can't miss it.
Move out. Quick steps.
Vale, hemos conseguido reputación +2, locos. A ver, espera. Habla con el contramaestre del cuartel de la Guardia de la Moneda nueva. Vale, sí. ¿Y por qué no me lo marca, tío? Porque no recuerdo muy bien dónde estaba el pavo este. A ver si me acuerdo. Era por aquí. Y era aquí. La que no sé por qué no lo marca. Yo creo que eso es un bug. Porque se supone que esto debería de marcármelo.
So you're back. Right then. What about our business?
We can guarantee that your merchandise will leave with us.
Thank you, Your Excellency. And bravo, Kurt. The commander will be most pleased.
The cargo shall make the voyage. Who will be at its reception once it's arrived?
That shall be your next mission. Once you've reached New Serene, go and find the quartermaster. He will give you new instructions. Until then, I wish you a safe and pleasant voyage, Your Excellency. Kurt, good luck.
La madre que me parió, macho. Nos mandan a hacer de todo. Y eso que supuestamente somos de la realeza y este tío no es un mindundi cualquiera. Que tenemos un capitán que está muy arraigado a la realeza. Vale, a ver. Habla con la contramaestra del cuartel de la Guardia de la Moneda. Y Nueva Serena, vale. Embarcación de moneda, Desaparición del contramaestre. Vale, vamos a hacer este. Y puede que a lo mejor después de hacer esta misión a lo mejor cortemos. Joder. Hay cadáveres por todos lados, chicos. Vale. Tengo dos clientes nuevos. Quieren ir al SAT y los inquisidores les pisan los talones, lo que no me va a facilitar el trabajo. Creo que puedo meterlos en un barco sin llamar la atención, pero tendremos que andarnos con cuidado. Y espero que demuestren ser pacientes y discretos. Haré que se escondan en un almacén detrás de la capitanía, donde los inquisidores nunca se atreverían a entrar. Vale. ¿Puedo saquearlo? Sí. Cogemos todo y yo creo que luego vamos a ir a venderlo. A ver, está para hablar con Flavia.
Good day. Someone told me that you're a friend of Jonas's, the young cabin boy who's gone missing.
That's right, yeah. Are you looking for him?
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Laura and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Why? I haven't the faintest idea.
A ver, está dando por culo y encima no sé qué ir de la habitación.
What does Jonas do in his free time, when you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
Does he know anyone in Serene?
No one, far as I know.
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guessed, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator, and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps it up, he'll be an admiral one day.
I need to be going. Farewell.
Vale, una de las pistas es que puede estar, pues eso, cerca como del río o del lago, algo así ha dicho. A ver, por ahí. Bueno, este será el otro pavo con el que tenemos que hablar, que será el otro amigo.
Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas? You bet your stars I know him. But like I've been crying to the 9 deaf winds, he didn't go missing, he was taken.
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mist too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand? Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof. Gone. Vanished.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No. Not telling him that. I still have some pride left. You get me?
Did Jonas seem troubled to you, the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
Thank you, Lara. I need to be going.
Strange story, this is.
Something isn't right here, I can feel it. We need to lift the veil on this.
A la taberna. Me cago en la hostia. ¿Qué pasa aquí? Estamos buscando a un tío. Completar misiones. En Greedfall las misiones suelen poder completarlas de varias formas diferentes. Desaparicion dispone de numerosos recursos. La astucia, la persuasión, la intuición, la corrupción y la fabricación de objetos del taller. Son algunos de los medios posibles para cumplir tus objetivos. Para mejorar dichos ámbitos, invierte puntos del árbol de talentos correspondientes o lleva equipo o que otorgue bonificaciones. Las amenazas y el combate también son opciones válidas cuando los adversarios no se muestran receptivos a sus talentos. Vale, ¿y este pibe cómo se llamaba? Es que me ha parecido que hablaba... Kurt. Vale, vamos a hablar con este hombre.
Good day, tavern keeper.
Good day to you. What is your pleasure?
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table.
Ya hablaremos de Constantine. Aunque la habíamos encontrado. Vale, se supone que tengo que seguir hablando con él. No obstante, vamos a ver si puedo hablar con él. Porque no es que quiero también darle un poco de sentido a lo que estamos haciendo. Pues va a ser que... Que hasta que no termine de hablar con él no me va a saltar el otro, ¿no? Por lo que veo. Aquí está.
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
Joder, está hecho polvo, chaval.
Have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I am here. I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. Needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him, if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, sir. You are in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Thélème embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
Vale, pues sigamos con la misión, a ver si podemos terminarla antes de dejar el gameplay. Y tendremos que volver aquí para... Bueno, realmente no sería necesario que tuviese que volver aquí para hablar sobre lo del primo de nuestro personaje. Pero si veo que no me acuerdo dónde era donde teníamos que encontrar a nuestro primo, pues si acaso volver aquí que nos darán pistas. Porque el otro día nos lo encontramos de casualidad, o sea, cuando estuvimos jugando en el primer gameplay nos terminamos encontrando al primo de pura casualidad. La cuestión es que recuerde yo cómo se llegaba al sitio donde estaba el pavo.
Might I help you, sir?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
Bueno. Fontaine, macho, no sé si será... El nombre estará hecho aposta en guiño a Bioshock. Que el malo uso era Fontaine. Uy, voy, tú, que se me va la olla.
Oh, Oh, I know you.
Qué fea es.
I've seen you at court. You are Lord Desade. And to what do I owe the
Cara de hija
honor of
puta.
your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We're looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it's their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
How did you find your son's trail?
We have never stopped looking for him. We learned the new name they gave him, Jonas. My poor little Celestine. Then we learned the name of the ship he sailed on. No sooner had it docked in Serene than my husband had the crew watched closely, and we found him.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Nauts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact. It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Nauts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
Qué movida, tronco. Y nosotros tenemos que viajar al otro continente o a la isla esta de Serene, me parece que se llamaba. Con esta gente, ¿sabes? De todas formas, vamos a ver cómo termina esto. Esto todavía no me ha quedado muy claro. Ahí va. Espérate tú, que aquí hay algo. Y por lo que veo encima, un gorrito. Mejor que el que tenemos. Pues nos quita armadura. Lo que pasa es que nos da probabilidad de botín y resistencia al veneno. De momento sigo prefiriendo tener más armadura que lo otro. A ver. Aprende más sobre los contratos de los Nautas. Vale. Otra vez hablar con el capitán.
Sir, you still haven't found your cousin. As you well know, we cannot leave without him.
Lo
Have
sé.
no fear. I will bring him back in time to make our scheduled departure. Is everything ready?
I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea-gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nauts, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Naut. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
Be back soon, Captain.
You see anyone else who might be able to help us? Anyone who's not on Nautas?
Sir de Corsillion's a veritable well of scientific knowledge. He could tell us a little more.
Interesante, tío.
But I still don't see Constantine at your side. I hope he hasn't been the victim of any foul play.
Don't worry. We'll find him in time for departure.
I certainly hope so. Would you be in need of my help in any way?
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child due to some contract with the Nautas.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, Desade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there's always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nauts. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son because of some agreement signed between my uncle and the Nauts?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nauts as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides.
Madre mía, tú, qué drama.
For ugly, that is ugly.
Aparte que esta es una misión secundaria y está siendo más larga de lo que yo pensaba, tío. Uy, va. Me gustaría que prepararas varias comidas y llevaras los almacenes que tenemos en el canal. Mi marido tendrá que trabajar unos días allí con su ayudante y sus hombres, así que asegúrese de que hay suficiente comida para todos. Y sea discreta. No queremos que otras familias se enteren de lo que está pasando.
This document mentions another property, a warehouse.
That would be a great place to hide. Shall we take a peek?
Vale, verdad, joder, me va a pasar lo mismo de antes, tío. Qué capullo. Voy a guardar.
Careful. Fontaine won't be alone. He'll have his henchmen with him.
Let's just try to remain discreet.
Desapercibido si lo primero que hago es sacar el arma. Claro que sí. Pues de momento... Aquí no es. Vale, espérate, que por aquí hay... Vale, está aquí abajo. Vamos a volver a guardar que todavía podemos.
So Desade, what are you doing here?
I've come looking for your son. The Nauts are worried about his disappearance.
Those Nauts took him from us, but now we've got him back, and he'll be staying with us.
Would you be so kind as to hear what I have to say, Sir Fontaine? I looked into the contract that binds you to the Nauts. It was indeed you who ceded your son to them in exchange for help with your business with the bridge.
It is so. But that sort of contract is ignoble. I never would have signed it if I had known.
You should have thought of that before. Breaking the contract could have regrettable consequences for the congregation.
The prince will know how to negotiate with the Nauts. If they take my son back, my wife will die of sadness.
Her sadness would be all the more terrible if she learned of your role in this story, don't you think?
You wouldn't dare tell her. I beg you.
You're not leaving me with a choice.
Very well. Take the key and take him away. Cursed be the day I delivered my son unto the Nauts.
All children leave the nest one day or another, sir. Farewell.
Sí, bueno, todo año está abandonar el nido, pero previamente por lo menos lo crías, estás con él y puede volver contigo cuando quiera y sabe quién eres. No esto, que vale, la culpa la tiene el pibe, pero hostias, qué duro, tío. Qué duro, encima yo que soy padre, me lo imagino. Bueno, de primera no hubiese hecho eso, pero vamos, me puedo poner en la situación de este hombre y a mí se me rompería el corazón.
Who are you?
My name is Desaparicion. I am legate of the congregation. Your captain has sent me to find you.
And were you able to convince my father to allow me to go free?
Yes. Even if I had to bend his arm a little.
That doesn't surprise me. He seemed to have no intention of changing his mind. I feel more sorry for my mother. She seems so sweet and happy to see me.
You don't seem to be all that close to your parents.
I hadn't seen them since I was 5 years old. I barely remember them. They find me, capture me, and lock me up in this warehouse. Hard to grow close after all that. My family is the Nauts. I am sorry for my parents, but that is the way of it now. Can I go home?
Yes. You should still go and say farewell to your mother. Then find your way to the ship. I'll see you there.
Vale, pues ya está. Pues nada, gente, vamos a dejarlo por aquí. Ya en el próximo capítulo terminamos de entrar a la misión porque realmente ya lo hemos hecho. Simplemente es hablarle al Capitán Vasco de que ya hemos conseguido liberar a su grumete. Y poquito más. Espero que os haya gustado el gameplay. La verdad es que no ha sido un gameplay de muchas peleas, pero bueno, es interesante y creo que el juego va a tener muchas situaciones de estas, no solo peleas, y me mola. Aparte que me mola la profundidad que le están dando a las historias secundarias y eso está guay. Porque le da otro rollito al juego. No solo misiones principales. Así que poquito más. Dale like si os gustó, que siempre se agradece. Y nos vemos en el próximo gameplay. ¡Chao!